So despite all the negativity surrounding Destiny 2 over the past 2 weeks, I am actually really excited to showcase this hunter build for you all because I think it is one of the strongest and deadliest Void Hunter builds we have seen yet, and it's just so fun to play. I feel like I am on the Controverse Void Warlock build, with how many Vortex grenades you're going to be throwing, and all the gameplay is from Grandmaster content, and then halfway through I'll show it in a Lost Sector for those of you that are still chasing exotics, because it's even stronger in there. Oh, and all the gameplay has no Void Burn. So think if a Void Burn was active and all our outgoing Void damage was increased by 25%. Talk about strong. We also have the Wombo combo, which is throw your Vortex grenade, then instantly activate your Quickfall dive. And this combo is just so satisfying to loop over and over, and you truly have infinite grenades, infinite Quickfall Melees, and infinite class ability. That is all three main abilities that we can just go to town with and loop over and over for devastating destruction. And if you think it couldn't get better than that, on top of all those abilities, you're triggering so many different debuffs and buffs that take the whole thing to the next level. We get infinite weakening debuff that lasts for 8 seconds now. We get infinite devour for free healing and grenade energy, volatile rounds if you choose to use a void weapon like I was, but you don't have to, which we'll go over in a little bit. We also get infinite void overshields even without artifact mods thanks to the repulsor brace perk and just killing a weakened enemy, which is way easier to do now because we have that infinite quickfall melee and the weakening from that last 8 seconds now, so double the time. And you're doing all of this while having infinite invisibility to keep us safe and let us position ourselves wherever and however we want on the battlefield, whether that's to take advantage of our abilities or weapons in a different way, or maybe to just get out of a tough spot that we may not have been prepared for. Now I want to make sure you all understand our dodge ability, and think of this as the catalyst that provides you with the infinite vortex grenades. So if you don't set this up right, you will never get close to having infinite grenades, and it all works with how we tie in and use our mods on this build. So we have our dodge ability, and we have this gambler's dodge available infinitely, which means we can take advantage of mods that proc off our dodge, and again infinitely. So our dodge is Gambler's Dodge, which means we always get our Quickfall melee back when we dodge near an enemy, which we're always doing. We get this melee ability thanks to the aspect Trapper's Ambush. And with the buff this season, it gained an extra fragment slot and also lets its weakening effect last 8 seconds, which is amazing. But to make sure we stay safe while dodging, our second aspect is Vanishing Step. We simply go invisible when we dodge. So now we have an infinite dodge, an infinite quickfall melee, and infinite invis from this alone. So now we need to add in the infinite vortex grenades. To accomplish this, we need orbs of power to fuel a few mods we're taking advantage of, so we have to create those. And with this build, we have a massive 5 different ways of creating orbs of power, so your fire team will love you for this as well. The first is the mod Reaper, and this allows your next weapon kill after dodging to create an orb of power. Now I can't stress this enough, but this works after every single dodge. So now every single weapon kill after dodging creates an orb of power. Next we add in our second mod, which is Harmonic Siphon, which allows your weapon to spawn a second orb of power if you kill a second enemy quick enough after the first kill. This is accomplished pretty easy because we're taking either Le Monarch or Wish Ender in difficult content to guarantee kills and handle champions. If you do take Wish Ender, then you just take Kinetic Siphon instead of Harmonic Siphon. So now if you come out of invisibility and kill 2 enemies, you create 1 orb from Reaper and 1 orb from your Harmonic Siphon. Next we add in our third way, and that's the Fragment Echo of Harvest, which is defeating a weakened target will create an orb of power and Void Breach. And this is procced by defeating any weakened enemy in any way, so this could be with an ability or a weapon, and we'll always take those extra Void Breaches. Now the fourth and fifth ways to create orbs of power are going to be 2 mods on our gauntlets, and that is Firepower and Heavy Handed. These allow our grenade and our quickfall melee to create orbs when we kill something. Our grenades can kill stuff in any type of content, and in easier content you will see your quickfall melee killing a lot of things as well. So now that we have guaranteed ourselves 5 different ways of making so many frickin' orbs, how do we utilize them as best as possible? I tried this build both with a full weapon damage boost setup with 3 mods on our boots for weapon damage, and I'm just gonna tell you that I liked infinite grenades way more. Now for the infinite grenades, we're going to take Powerful Attraction. This mod goes on your class item, and this collects nearby orbs of power when you dodge, and we're always going to be doing that. So now we don't have to chase down orbs, and this feeds right into 3 different mods that we're using. First is Charged Up on our chest piece, and this will allow us to carry 4 armor charges instead of 3. And this plays perfectly with our boots mod called Stacks on Stacks. This gives us 2 armor charges for every 1 orb we pick up, and we can hold 4 armor charges thanks to Charged Up. So now when we dodge and gather just 2 orbs of power, which we easily accomplish because we're creating so many at once, we get 4 total armor charges from just 2 orbs, and this feeds grenade kickstart on our gauntlets. When our grenade energy is expended, we gain grenade energy. This gives us close to half of our grenade back alone, and we always have 4 armor charges, as you can see in the gameplay. Next we add in the mod Innervation, which gives us 10% grenade energy for every orb we pick up. And this works with Powerful Attraction when we collect orbs through dodging. So if there are 3 orbs on the ground and you dodge and collect those, you will get 30% of your grenade energy back. I slowed the footage down and looked at this very closely, and it does work with all the orbs that you collected. So if you just get 1 orb when you dodge, 10% grenade energy. If you get 3 orbs when you dodge, 30%. Then to top off your grenade energy, we still have Devour active this whole time from the Fragment Echo of Starvation. This procs just from grabbing an Orb of Power or a Void Breach, and when you dodge and collect an orb with Powerful Attraction, that counts for Devour as well, aka collecting an Orb of Power for Echo of Starvation. So since you're guaranteed to have an orb on the ground when dodging, since we always create so many orbs anyways, you get a full heal when you dodge, which is kinda crazy to think about. So if you do happen to be weak while you're invisible, you can just dodge again to collect an orb and full heal off that. Or run over a Void Breach that was created from Echo of Harvest for a full heal as well. I know that was a lot of explaining on how it all works, but I want you all to understand how strong this is and how well it all just works together so fluently to create this Void Wraith roaming the battlefield. So we went over our 2 aspects, which is Vanishing Step and Trapper's Ambush, and we went over that you want to have Gambush Dodge, Vortex Grenade, and the melee you're using is from Trapper's Ambush, which is Quickfall. For the 4 fragments, we already went over Echo of Harvest to create Orbs of Power and Void Breaches, and Echo of Starvation to proc Devour. Now for your last 2 fragments, the first one that I take with any Void build is Echo of Undermining. Your Void Grenades weaken targets. Now your 4th fragment is up to you. I chose Echo of Instability with this particular build because I was using Le Monarch, which is Void, and Echo of Instability is defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your Void weapons. Now I was running this build last week in the Lightfall Grandmaster, and I was running Wish Ender for those barrier champions, and a Glaive with Unstoppable. So since I wasn't using technically a Void primary, so I dropped Echo of Instability and took Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to you, which is Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour, have increased duration. So if you're not using Le Monarch or a Void weapon in general, then I would drop Instability and take Echo of Persistence. Now let's talk about our exotic of choice, and that's Radiant Dance Machines, and this is what provides those infinite dodge ability. This got reworked this season, and I've done multiple builds with this exotic already, and I still think it's very undervalued because people just don't know how to use it properly and don't invest in learning how to use it. The perk is activating your dodge ability while near targets allows you to dodge additional times for a short period. Defeating targets extends the duration of the additional dodge. And this is defeating targets from any source, any weapon, any ability, super, anything. So first off, we do have to get within about 15 to 20 meters of an enemy for the perk to proc and dodge near an enemy. Well, this is really easily accomplished because of Trapper's Ambush. We just activate Quickfall, which makes us go invisible for 8 to 10 seconds. We run up near an enemy while we're invisible and dodge. That dodge then activates the Radiance Dance Machines, and when you dodged, it activated Vanishing Step, so you're still invisible. And when you dodged, you got your Trapper's Ambush melee back. So now you're literally back to square one, all while being visible, having your melee available, and proccing Radiant Dance Machines safely. Next is just defeating enemies. So whether that means you go into your Wombo combo, or you shoot an enemy with your Wish Ender or Le Monarch, whatever it may be, and then you just dodge. So now you went right back invisible, and either your Wish Ender arrow or your Le Monarch arrow is going to kill something, or your grenade's going to kill something, and this sends the dance perk up to 10 seconds. And it maxes out at 10 seconds, so now you literally just need 1 kill every 10 seconds. So I will say that is the one drawback of this build, is it does require kills. But it's the same thing like if you're running Devour or something, right? You want to get a kill around every 10 seconds to keep your chain going. So in solo lost sectors, when you're running for exotics or anything like that, this build is amazing because you're solo, you're the only one killing things, and you can guarantee yourself a kill every 10 seconds. If you happen to be running solo nightfalls or harder content, easy. Or even easier content, you can just dodge, quickfall dive, dodge, quickfall dive over and over, and it's a lot of fun. I did run this with a group in the Lightfall Grandmaster last week, and again, it was very easy for myself with Wish Ender to keep this going all the time, because I just needed to come out of my dodge and shoot a Wish Ender shot and kill something every 10 seconds to keep it up. But trust me, if you guys give it a shot and just learn how to use this entire build properly, which is really simple, it's literally just grenade, quick fall dive, dodge. Shoot something with your arrow, dodge. Shoot something with your arrow, dodge. Go back into your ability rotation. You're gonna have a blast doing it.